media, and we're just going to get into some brief commentary over Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 10, Episode 5. This week, we're not doing a full-on recap, just some commentary, and we're just going to kind of talk about what happened. So, before we get into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and come on over here and kick it with your girl. Ashley is grilling Stacey, and I wonder what's Ashley, thing with Stacey. Like, Ashley, what do you have against Stacey? I feel like maybe she felt like Stacey was an easy target, and they are bringing new ladies on, so Ashley feel like maybe she got to do something to stand out. I don't know, but they're asking Stacey about Chris Samuels, and this is why I say Stacey, she's likable because she's herself. And she didn't say that it wasn't. She didn't say really exactly what it was, but she just said, he's a nice guy. He's a wonderful father. That they kind of talked and bonded over their divorces, and that's that. And Ashley, she's asking the right questions. I know a lot of y'all don't like Ashley, and Ashley is not my favorite person, but I know a lot of y'all don't like her. So when she does ask questions, y'all like she doing too much. But I felt like she was kind of asking the right questions because I wonder how y'all know each other. Like, what's tea? Where y'all meet? Ashley said a publicist is the one who kind of hooked them up and stuff, which I don't think that's foreign. I think they kind of do that in the reality world so they can have something to talk about. Maybe Chris was going to be her storyline until she got back with her husband. So, yeah, she said he's a great dude. Gizelle asked her, does she know Monique? She said no, she never met her. So, at this point, what are we really talking about? Because they're both grown, both divorced. Well, we're going through divorce. Yeah, both divorced because Stacey is divorced. Both divorced. And she don't know Monique, so she don't owe Monique no loyalty. So, if Chris going, then hey, why not? And I did like that Stacey owned it and was like, look at me. Like, why wouldn't he be talking about me? Like, yeah, clock that. So I just think it's just Ashley trying to find something to talk about and trying to have a moment. And unfortunately, Ashley, your moments keep falling flat because Stacey, she owns her shit. So yeah, Stacey is just like, baby, I'm back with my man. I'm back with my husband. So I don't give a damn about none of that. And here go Angel. Stacey says that, she feel like they want her to be somebody else. And, here go Angel. I can relate to that. Angel. Y'all know I keep saying that I had high hopes for Angel, but each episode is just not looking too good. And I was liking Angel at first, but now it's just like, we know it's Wendy's birthday. It seems to be her birthday every time they get ready they go on the cast trip. So, of course, they did a little thing where they celebrated her birthday, sung happy birthday to her, and had a little spread set up, which I thought was cool. I thought, okay, I like that. Keiarna, here we go with the bullshit. Keiarna, she's feeling away, so she doesn't want to stay. She sung happy birthday, and then after that, she's like, I'm tired. I'm going to my room where all the other ladies, they playing games and drinking and just enjoying themselves. Keiarna is being Debbie Downer and she don't want no parts, which I don't know. I was actually surprised that Angel didn't leave with Keiarna, which that caught me by surprise. And then in this scene, I felt like this was the Angel that I liked. I felt like this was the Angel that we first seen on the first episode. So I'm like, this is cool, Angel. I think when she's not around Keiarna, she's funner to be around. And she told Gizelle how she felt. And like I've said before, I felt like, I said this last week in that I felt like Angel is probably having issues because she's gained weight. We do know she recently had a baby, like a little over a year ago. And if you've had a baby, then sometimes it's not as easy for their weight to come off. She may be experiencing postpartum, and she may be, I feel like she's having issues with the way she looked. And I think that they go back to show her previous pictures, and her previous pictures when she was smaller look more like the pictures that she photoshopped of herself. So I think that's kind of where she's stuck, and I understand it. I've been there. Look, I'm on a weight loss journey, which I'm gonna come back to y'all about that. But I get it, and it's not always easy, especially as a mom. If you're busy and you have other stuff going on, it's not always easy to come off. And I feel like she's feeling a little insecure when it comes to that. And then she's around these women who are beautiful, bodies are banging, and she's, she was like that before. Which, don't get me wrong, I think Angel is very pretty. I think she's very curvy, and I don't think it's anything wrong with her looks. But at the same time, I know if you don't feel that way, then it doesn't matter what anyone else says. And so I think this is Angel's issue. I think, because me personally, I don't think Gizelle body shamed Angel. I know it could be taken that way just because she have put on weight, but I think Gizelle was more talking about her face. And as a woman who's had a baby, who've had more than one baby, I get it. Like, I completely understand. I understand, like, she probably wanted to get on this show, and then when she finally did get on the show, it's at a time where she's not her most confident self. And so that could be a little intimidating. But I just felt like when she's not around Keiarna, she's actually a good time. It matters of how she's feeling, body-wise about herself, or how she's feeling internally about herself. I just feel like when Keiarna's not around, she's more likable. And I've said it before, I say it again. Her loyalty to Keiarna is going to be the reason she's not coming back next year. Because what she's giving now is just like, follow the leader. And it's like, girl, you too grown to be following the leader. Jazzy says that she don't believe that there's any more cheating going on with her fiance. We know that he had 2 babies on her, or when they met, somebody had just had a baby and he had another baby on the way. However she want to word it, 2 babies came in the midst of them together. Put it like that. And Ashley is asking, do she feel like it's stuff going on? And she's like, no. Like I keep saying, over all of these franchises and these reality shows, if these ladies want to deal with these men and whatever comes with them and their infidelity and stuff, let them be. Like, let's find other angles and stuff to talk about. I'm sick of talking strictly about people's relationship, because it's boring at this point. It's like it's the same story, different person. So the next morning, Angel and Keiarna are, getting ready for their day. And that Keiarna be looking good. Like, if Keiarna would just be herself and would let all the animosity and whatever the stuff that she got going on go and just enjoy herself, she will be that girl. So Angel, it's apparent, talked to Keiarna when she got back from, Wendy's little party. And now all of a sudden her tune for Gizelle has changed. So now she feels away. And Gizelle comes in while they're talking about the situation. And what's her name? Keiarna let Gizelle know that they were talking about her, but it wasn't good. And so Gizelle is like, okay, so what's the issue? Angel walks up and she go gets a tissue because she's crying. Child, I'm like, Angel. And this is where I want to give her grace, because she could very well be postpartum. But then again, it's like, girl, what the hell are you crying for? This is Housewives. Baby, if that little bit hurt you that bad, this is not the franchise for you. And so she's like, Gizelle hurt her feelings, and she felt like Gizelle kind of body shamed her and stuff. And Gizelle is like, she did apologize, and she was like, that wasn't her intention, because she thinks that Angel is very beautiful. And like I said, they flashed back to pictures of Angel when she was smaller, and I feel like those pictures that were photoshopped look more like her when she was smaller. And we know when you gain weight, your face gain weight, because I didn't gain weight and my face is fat. But I naturally have a fat face too. But it's just one of those things. I feel like Angel people are not perceiving it well, because the night before you literally hugged Gizelle and everybody was cool. They thought they had got over their hump. You was honest. You said you would kill Gizelle off because you didn't like the way she made you feel, which I appreciated that. I'm like, okay, we're getting somewhere. I feel like, yeah, this is the Angel that we all want to see. But as soon as you get back with your girl Keiarna, you take 10 steps back. And so Gizelle does apologize, and she was like, she looked at Gizelle as a big sister. And it's like, I can't speak to Gizelle's true character because at the end of the day, this is a show, and Gizelle is about her coin, and she plays the game. Whether y'all, like I always say, whether y'all like Gizelle or not, she does what she needs to do to keep the show going, and she played her role as the villain and the person that starts stuff and asks questions. Like, that's her role. Every every show has one. So I'm not even mad at that because I understand the politics behind it. Even though I know some of y'all get too invested, I know at the end of the day this is still a show. But I feel like Angel was looking for too much. Like, way too much. At the end of the day, these women aren't your friends. They don't know you. Your only real friend on the show is Kay. And I feel like that's the problem why we can't get to know you. So Gizelle apologized. She won't hug Gizelle now, which is like, I have really no more words. It's clear that you're gonna let Kay dictate your every move. And like I said this last week, I am giving her grace because I've had children and I know how it feels to put on a weight and not feel like yourself. And I could just imagine that's probably 10 times more when you're around a beautiful group. Y'all are getting filmed and you don't feel like you look and feel your best. So I get that. But at the same time, it's like, Angel, just own it. I feel like I wish she would just own it and quit throwing slick shade when she get into the confessions. Like, you won't check Gizelle because you want to kiss Gizelle ass because you feel like Gizelle is the top dog. So you won't check Gizelle and put her in her place for real. But you would get in the confessionals and say the slick shit like, well, my husband loved it and I got a husband, which is cool. I get that, but it's like, Angel, why you didn't tell her that? Yeah, I think Stacey, she just gonna be the breakout star. Because out of all the newbies, Stacey is the breakout star. When Gizelle came back and told Keiarna that she was crying, Stacey said she be ear hustling, baby. She listening to everything going on around her so she can ask them questions. And I like that about Stacey. Stacey like, baby, so what happened? Kay pulled Ashley to the side and they are talking about what happened and what Kay doesn't like. Same thing, like it's like her and Angel are looking for reasons to be mad at this point. It's like they can't take the slick shade. They take everything to heart, and I feel like that's why they aren't the standout stars. Because and this is why I feel like Stacey is doing a good job because I've said it multiple times. But I feel like Stacey, she take what they say, and when they try to haze her, she laughs at it. She flip it on them. She doesn't take it to heart and let them get up under her skin and make her look crazy. Like, we know they said her breath stink. Stacey basically laughed at them and was like, give me a breath mint. They said all type of stuff about Stacey. Even with Gizelle leaving Stacey's name off the rope and stuff. Stacey is like, I see Gizelle, but fuck it. I'm still going to enjoy myself. Like, I'm not fit to let her get up under my skin. Like, even with the Chris Samuel situation, Stacey owned that. And I feel like that's the issue with Kay and Angel. Angel is a follower, unfortunately. And she lets Kay get in her ear. And I don't like that. Like, Angel calls her husband, which I know a lot of people is like, well, what is Bobby gonna do? He needs to stay out of women's business. But if she really did take that to heart, I could see her calling her husband. And he's her husband. He's supposed to have her back. So I don't even have an issue with that because my man would have said the same thing. So, I don't have an issue with that. But my thing is, learn how to roll with the punches and fight back in a way where you trip them up. Like, you letting them clearly get to you. You and Kay both. And another thing is, Angel let Kay get in her ear about whatever, and instead of her trying to get to know the ladies on her own, she's taking in Kay bullshit. And this is why when Kay is around, she can't enjoy herself. She can't be free. If Angel would take what she did at Wendy's party and be that person, she would stand out more. I feel like she would stand out more over Tia, because I like Tia, but I don't feel like Tia is like she's really like standing out. But Tia is a good addition. But I feel like if Angel would be Angel and just enjoy herself, she would stand out more than Tia, because she has the housewife. Everything that a housewife poses, she has it. Except for the confidence. She don't have that confidence right now because, you know, she's going through whatever she's going through. But I feel like instead of her taking that and letting that be her storyline, and, you know, saying, because the thing with that is, you could say easily, you know, I feel like I'm going through postpartum. I just had a baby a little over a year ago, and I haven't been able to get back to my true self. Do you know how many women relate to that? And I think that's the problem. A lot of these women don't realize that just being yourself and being relatable will make the people like you. That's why people like Stacey, because it's not like Stacey is just doing all this extra stuff and has all this grand stuff. Stacey is just being her quirky self. And people like that because she just does her. I feel like if Angel would have came on here, got to know the ladies for herself, talked about, you know, what she had going on. When Gizelle tried to say something about her pictures being edited, because we know they are, instead of lying about it, be like, yeah, I did edit my pictures. They probably was too edited. Girl, I'm going through this. I used to look like this. I don't look like that no more. I probably shouldn't have edited them, but at the time I was feeling this certain way. You know, do you know how many women would relate to that, especially mothers? Like, women who just gain weight will relate to that. But a woman who has carried a child, had a child and stuff will relate to that and would love her for that. But taking this situation and making it bigger than what it is, and letting Kay get in your ear and make you have to act a certain type of way towards the ladies, is not doing you any good. It's just making people not like you, making the fans look at you sideways, and we may not see you next season. So, Wendy telling that man Kenny that he needs to give voice lessons to Ashley. We all know Ashley cannot sing. Ashley just be doing, she can't sing, she can't dance, she just be, but she gonna try to hit a 1-2, and she gonna try to hit a tune, baby. As the ladies are learning about Alexander Hampton, Wendy is letting it be known they're about the fake friend stuff. And Keiarna caught the shade, but she's like, Wendy needs to be direct. Baby, I'm sick of Keiarna and Wendy with this shit. Like, y'all don't like each other. That's cool. That's fine. Keiarna, you saying Wendy hadn't been a friend to you. I don't think you tried to be a friend to Wendy. At this point, just don't fuck with each other. You know, just do y'all little thing for the show and maybe let it go. Jazzy and Tia talked to Angel. Basically, they're trying to see what happened. Because, you know, they thought that everything had worked out like we all did. But Angel is saying that she was annoyed with them. And Jazzy's like, how the hell was you annoyed? That's your annoyed, you know, you being cool, high-fiving and hugging everybody. She was like, who did you talk to? And of course, production is going to do what production do. Run it back. And we see she talked to Mean Kay. And Kay didn't put a bug in her ear. And so now she have an issue the next morning. It's clear as day. And Jazzy was like, damn, I guess her personality is a catfish too. Which, at this point, they should have just gave Jazzy the full-time spot. Jazzy is being more working more, and it's more likable at this point than Kay and Angel both put together. And like y'all, I kept saying, I wanted to like both. And I don't like to say I dislike these ladies. Y'all know that because I don't know them for real. But I wanted to be there for Kay and Angel. But they just not giving what they are like negative Nancy's at this point. And it's like, this is not the platform for you if you can't let stuff roll off your back. I feel like Angel, she's so used to being a wag that's like her whole personality is a wag and her men and her kids. And it's like, Angel, you're not on a wag show, baby. You're not on a wag show. This is not that. Let the wag go and quit coming in of what you think it should be and just flow with it and get Kay out your ear. Tia did say that she thought, her stuff was heavily photoshopped, but she wasn't gonna say it the way Gizelle said it, which I respect that. But we know Gizelle is doing her job. So y'all can say Gizelle was being mean. She wasn't being mean. I'm not here to dissect that part. I just want to say she's doing her job. I like that Wendy cut Ashley off and brought it back up about Gizelle and her man, because she like Ashley wants to be Captain Saberho, and we wanted to know, which we all wanted to know, because y'all know Gizelle don't talk about her love life and stuff like that. Gizelle is really a private person, and she have a lot of antics that she do, I feel like, on the show to keep from talking about her personal life, which I am a Virgo, and I know Gizelle is a Virgo, and I know a lot of people don't like Gizelle, but like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with Gizelle because I see through the stuff that she does. Gizelle is very private. We Virgos are private. We keep a lot of stuff to ourselves, especially if we don't really fool with you like that. And I feel like that's what Gizelle does. She look at this as a job, and she play it that way without having to divulge fully of her personal business in life. Which, I mean, I know this is reality TV, and a lot of y'all don't like her, and y'all feel like that people shouldn't be able to skate by. But if you find a way to skate by without having to give up your whole life, then hey, go for it. And I feel like that's what she does. We learned that she's dating, well, I mentioned that before, that she's dating Sean Springs, but we learned that it's a little more. She said, we know that they've been messing around, so she giving him the goods, and that he met one of her daughters, so it could be something, I don't blame her for her not wanting to talk about it on this platform. I know a lot of people don't feel like that's fair, but like I just said, if you can get away with it, then hell, get away with it. Like, if you can be knee deep in everybody else's business and you're able to still get your check and play your role that way, it might not be fair, but life ain't fair. If you can do it, do it. That's just how I look at it. Wendy and Gizelle have a little moment, and Wendy says she considered Gizelle as a friend. I know a lot of y'all are like, Gizelle don't like Wendy, and I'm not gonna say whether she feel like that's her friend or not. Gizelle says she do consider her a friend. I know a lot of y'all were like, oh, if that was her friend, she wouldn't have said what she said on the Reasonably Shady podcast. When I heard it, I don't think it was as worse as it could have been. I felt like Robin did her research, and I felt like Gizelle, she was, asking questions and was kind of surprised by certain stuff, but I don't think she really took a dig at Wendy the way some of y'all are trying to make it. I feel like her reaction was like everybody else's, like, what the hell was Wendy doing? That's just a part of the game. That's anybody. I don't feel like she could. I feel like she went easy, and she really didn't dog Wendy, how some of y'all are trying to say she did. But that's neither here nor there. They had a moment. Wendy feel like, her and Gizelle are cool, and they are friends at this point. Whatever. Angel talk about her man dropping a stack on her. He sent her a cool $5,000 to go shopping, and which I don't. It's cool. I know a lot of people are saying that she's doing that to overcompensate. Maybe so. I feel like this is her way to kind of flex on the ladies, especially on the ladies who don't have a man, aka Gizelle. I feel like this is her way to flex. And like I keep saying, I feel like she has a wag mentality. And she was I feel like Angel was that girl when it came to the wags. All the younger wags looked up to her. And so I think that's why she's having a problem finding herself in this group. I know a lot of y'all was like, okay, we don't care. He gave you $5,000. Like, it don't bother me. Like, let your man drop a coin on you, baby. That's what he's supposed to do. Like, yes. So, the ladies was like, Stacey's like, oh, do he do that often? So, which I just feel like that's her way of flexing because she's having a hard time in other places with the ladies. We find out how Tia met her husband. She did meet her husband in London, and she said, she liked him, but she didn't realize that they would have like a lot of cultural differences with them both being black, which we know Tia was raised in London, is from Nigeria, and so she's like, they play a clip of her daughter calling her bro, and she's like, why that don't bother her husband, that kind of bothers her because in their culture, they can't talk to their parents like that, which I completely understand. So Wendy did ask her, how did her family feel with her marrying somebody that was in Nigeria? And she said that they felt the way. And, we know that, like, if you know the culture, then, they want you to marry within the culture, which I understand. So that was interesting to see. And hopefully we lean on a little bit more into that. Wendy is getting sick. So while the ladies, they out at the flea market shopping, and Wendy did make the comment about, how cheap the stuff was in the flea market. So why is Angel talking about her men sent her $5,000? What are you buying what are you spending $5,000 on? In which, this is why I say Angel don't know how to play the game. And not Wendy trying to talk about somebody bragging on their men, when Wendy, you have told us numerous of times how many degrees you got in all the jobs and how you making this money. Like, girl. So I think Angel should have stunned it on the ladies if she, instead of telling them the amount, because I don't think it's nothing wrong with her husband sending her money. I just think you ain't have to tell them the amount, but if that's what you want to do, hey, whatever. But shit, if you really wanted to ruffle some feathers, you could have said, oh, everybody, put y'all stuff on here. I'm gonna pay for everybody's stuff because I got it like that. My man, he that. He that one. He that type. That's how you could have stunned it on them, instead of letting them get up under your skin, play that game, and yeah, we got it like that. Don't say how much he gave you, just pay for it. Like, to let bitches know, like, it's never that. But Angel, she don't know how to play the game. Angel takes Bobby about sex, and Bobby like, hey, you talking about that, we gonna make a baby. So Stacey want to do it with her husband, and with her ex-husband, soon to be husband again, child. And she texts him that, and he's a little bit confused, and so he was like, but who, you? Or, what's the, and then he asked her if she had the wrong number. So Ashley go back and tell Gizelle what happened, and Stacey is like, what y'all saying, stop talking about me. And this is why Stacey just don't own it, but she's saying, he's not used to that, because we do know I believe he's from London, Germany. He's not from America, put it like that. I can't remember where he's from, but he's not used to that, which is a little weird. Y'all been together, y'all have a daughter together. I don't know, culturally, would he not understand? I don't know. I don't see, as a man who has sex, and whatever. But yeah, Stacey just said she's never done that, and he's not used to that. That's why he responded that way. So Wendy is sick. She can't go out with the ladies. Gizelle and Stacey take her some things, to help her feel better, which I thought was nice and sweet. So they arrive at the restaurant. Angel is being Angel, and it's like, am I gonna be on the menu tonight? Like, Angel, please, like, girl, let the shit go. And Gizelle is being Gizelle and playing her role, and it's like, you might be. Jazzy and Kay start going at it. We know it's always an issue with Kay or Angel. I just feel like this is an issue because they were going for the spot, the main spot. Kay got it. Don't necessarily feel like Kay deserved it at this point because she's giving very exhausting energy. She says that Jacqueline told Kay that Jazzy was that. Hold on. Jacqueline told Jazzy that Kay called her a snake or something like that. And Kay didn't like that, so when she went and talked to Jazzy, she brought up the Wendy situation, I guess. And it's just all stupid. Jazzy is saying, you know, if Wendy knew what Kay said, I'm thinking it's gonna be some piping hot tea what Kay said, but she said Kay said don't trust her. It's like this whole situation, all of it is dumb. Like at this point, I feel like Kay is so pretty, such a beautiful girl. Pretty, like all over, just pretty nice body, be putting this shit on. But when it comes to the personality, I don't even think it's just her personality at this point. I just think it's just her energy. Like she has very mean-spirited energy, and it's like we're getting nowhere. Angel is gonna be your lapdog and follow you. I just feel like they keep playing victim, and at this point, I'm over it. I'm tired of it. Like, I'm not feeling Kay at the moment. I don't know. I just feel like at this point, can we talk about something different besides this whole she don't like me, you don't like her, y'all are not friends for real. It's okay. Y'all are co-workers, and it's okay to play that game. And I think this is the part, like when I say a lot of people don't like Gizelle, and like I know I'm not just like this huge super fan of Gizelle, but I have a love-hate relationship with Gizelle, and I see the shit that Gizelle do because this is a job at the end of the day, and she's playing her role. And I feel like they need to learn how to play the game like that and quit getting too emotionally invested. I feel like that's Angel problem. You're coming in and you wanting to be on these ladies' good graces and want to be friends and all this and that, and you're getting clouded by Keiarna because you letting her negative energy get in your ear, and it's just for a disaster. That's the end of the show. We'll see what happens next week, child. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, come on over here and kick it with your girl. Bye, y'all.